two, one. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting film journey here on Delusions of Grandeur. I am your host, and today in the room I have my good friends Kroll. Hello.
Hello.
Forrest.
You always subject your good friends to stuff.
And my fiance Tammy. How are y'all doing today?
Hello.
I bet she'd be better if she hadn't had to watch this movie twice.
I'm fine, thanks.
And if I wasn't dealing with the Don saga.
I don't feel bad for Dave for having to watch it twice. He's the one who subjected us to it, but I feel bad for Tammy.
Fair enough.
I'd rather watch this movie 100 times than dealing with the Don saga.
Oh, I get that, but I'm just going on a comedy here, not other stuff, So.
So the film that I subjected you guys to this week was a film from 1980 called The Alien Dead, and it was directed by Olen Rey, and it stars Buster Crabbe, Ray Roberts, Linda Lewis, George Kelsey, Mike Bonavia, Dennis Underwood,
a bunch of people you never heard of. Got it.
But actually, Buster Crabbe, he played the original Flash Gordon.
This was his last film. This was his last film.
The 1930s serials that we got.
Oh, well, okay. This was his last film. And after this performance, it should be.
But Buster Crabbe played the sheriff of this small town.
You sure you can call him that?
Let's say what IMDb says about this film. A meteor strikes a houseboat in the swamps near a southern town populated by Yankees with fake accents. The people on the houseboat become zombies who feed on the alligators in the swamp. Once they run out of alligators, they start going for the citizens. A local scientist tries to figure out what's happening to people once they start disappearing. So, going with first impressions.
A local scientist?
Yeah.
It was a
writer. He's a fucking writer.
A reporter.
I know. Like, how the fuck is he a scientist? They don't even have a scientist in the town. The only thing close they have is that wildlife dude. That ain't even no expert.
But in any case, let's go with first impressions. Boris, why don't you tell us? Was this a first time watch for you?
Yes, it was. And my first impressions, I would say, are kind of mixed. One issue I had, which is probably not the movie's fault, is that I could find only one subtitle file, and it was not quite a fitting one. The subtitles were a bit out of sync, and I couldn't really fix them, so that was a little distracting and getting in the way of me following the storyline.
Okay, you didn't miss much.
But as far as I could see, yeah, I hear Crow didn't enjoy the movie, but I believe if I hadn't had the issue with subtitles, I would have probably enjoyed the movie a little more than I did, because this is not the first time that I watch movies like these. I am kind of accustomed to B movies and stories like these where the characters appear just to get killed off by whatever is killing people in the movie. So
this is like a Z movie.
Yeah,
B movies are offended.
Well, I can see why some people would dislike a movie like this. I personally would probably like it a little better than I did if I hadn't had a problem with the subtitles. So, yeah, I guess that would be my first impressions.
Well, I know you prefer to watch movies with subtitles, where I prefer to watch it with English. So, but heading over to you, Crow. Was this a first time watch for you?
Yes. First, last, only. And my first impression was. What the fuck?
Was there anything that you enjoyed about the film?
With a couple minor laughs, not because it was funny, just because it was fucking ridiculous. But only a couple minor laughs.
I wouldn't say it was quite that bad, but okay.
Is that your
first? Because you didn't. Excuse me, I did. First and last. I'd say the best scene was the credits, but even the fucking music sucked for that. So.
Heading over to you, Tammy. What was your first impression of this film? Was this a first time watch for you?
Yeah, it was a first time watch.
Wait, he subjected you twice to it, though.
Actually,
right,
I would like to say that you and I have seen it once before this, so this would be your third time.
Yeah, I think I remember that too, but it was I guess I could see how an 8-year-old could have gotten scared by it, David. But I honestly thought it was kind of boring, and I didn't think it was really scary at all. And it was just kind of like, okay, scary. There's some zombies. Okay, that's kind of cool that they're in the water. That's different. Okay,
dude,
it was just nothing made me go ah.
My 3-year-old self would laugh at the 8-year-old scared of this movie.
I mean,
I've seen worse stuff in my nightmares than this movie.
It was just, to me, it was like, oh, okay,
right?
Was it enjoyable at all?
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't like, oh my god, that sucks, turn it off, or that's just not it wasn't Buddy, so
Buddy,
at least I could watch it. So
okay. Well, I was first subjected to this when I was 8 years old, and my dad rented this on VHS from Blockbuster, and I had not seen a whole lot of horror movies because I lived in a cave. Basically for most of my life, because my mom protected me from many different things. She was
what a good job she did. Now is all you love.
Yeah, exactly. And looking back at my 8-year-old self, I wonder why I thought this film was scary.
Right?
But
go smack yourself.
I remember things going differently as I'm watching this film on like a clear ass Blu-ray, But it's like, wait a minute, that didn't happen on the VHS. That was like more bloody. There was more like body parts in there, and it's tame compared to my original viewing of this film, So I wonder.
Isn't memory fickle?
Yeah, memory fickle. I remember this movie a hell of a lot more grosser, and I just couldn't think of the title for many years. And for some reason, just certain sections of this movie stuck out in my mind when I saw it because it was odd. It was strange, and it was a strange movie that
I need to.
Zombies don't do this.
I need to ask: are you sure there aren't maybe multiple different cuts of this movie that maybe?
Because we would have got we would have gotten those cuts on this Blu-ray. This is a limited numbered edition Blu-ray, and you would have gotten like the several cuts on this if it were.
Yeah, because this Blu-ray even had interviews. It had a couple other movies that were on it that was special. You know.
For some reason. Like I said, the subtitle file that I found was not quite fitting, and the video I had was 1 hour 14. I think 1 hour 14 minutes and 3 seconds long. But
that's how long it is.
That's how long it is.
But somewhere I saw another file, but that wasn't the one I was watching, where it said it was 1 hour 14 minutes and 13 seconds, so 10 seconds longer than the one I had.
Well, then it had longer credits. But
I don't know.
Mine was, what did it say, 86 minutes?
Yeah, but
about an hour and 14 minutes or something like that.
Mine was 86 or 87. Now, I started to watch it on this one Fandom Sci-Fi or Fotham was called, and because it was in HD, and I watched like 5 minutes of it. Went to the first commercial, which repeated like 15 times, and then went into a different movie. Okay. So then I put it onto Plex and sat through a bazillion movies, a bazillion ads to watch the worst movie ever. Okay, not the worst movie, but, you know, this crap.
I don't call it crap because it's not.
Because you have no taste.
Crap. But I will say that there was definitely a rewrite in the script, like a fourth of the way through, which they turned it.
There should have been rewriting the whole thing and scrapped and started over.
I like what we got.
The dialogue was horrible. The acting was worse.
For half the problem, from what I understand, was Buster Crabbe, as old as he was, couldn't remember his fucking lines. So that was part of the problem.
That wasn't even that big of a fucking problem, dude. Everybody had horrible lines and everybody sucked.
I think the best actor in here was actually the game warden.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I didn't see him fucking up at all. As far as anything goes, okay, so we have a writer, a journalist in the very.
And I'm gonna tell you about the most boring town there is, and nothing ever happens until it did. Does that sound like him? Fucking Mr. Robotic.
Anyways, a writer or journalist by the name of Tom.
Because he was typing when he was talking.
Yeah, he's typing up a story as he's beginning to tell us about his adventure in this small town. I guess this is something that happened after everything went on, but I guess it's after this that it goes to two people in a boat. I believe they are called Mr. and Mrs. Griffin.
Mr. Griffin, can I give you my opinion?
And they're looking for gators.
Yes, Mrs. Griffin, you can, but I suggest you talk about something else and give me your opinion.
What do y'all think about these two?
Fucking complete morons.
I thought it was a little weird that okay, while they were on the boat, they were referring to each other with their last name, which I thought was some kind of inner joke between them. But then he continued to say Mrs. Griffith when she disappeared, when he was supposed to be in serious panic. And
yeah, exactly. It was stupid. Like you couldn't even see her at all. But her voice, she sounded like a little girl. So I'm like,
the lighting was really bad.
Is he saying Mrs. or Miss? Like I thought he was maybe talking to his daughter at first. Like I didn't even realize it was his wife until after she was dead, and it was just like she had such a like a little girl voice. And
I thought that at first that she was like a servant or some shit because she kept calling them, because they kept calling each other. And I'm
except she had the same last name, so
right.
That would be odd to have a servant
last name. I'm like, wait a minute, okay,
right. And actually, at first, I thought it was a little boy's voice, and then I was like, okay, maybe it's a little girl's voice, and it turns out it was the wife. Like, okay.
Yeah, what was the deal with her not even appearing on screen? Why?
She was there. It's just the lighting was bad, and
maybe she's a real actress, and she faked a horrible one because she didn't want to be known for being in this.
I think that the film. I think that the film didn't. The film part did not survive well enough from the 80s in order to give the right lighting for this scene. Because nitrate, I think, might have gotten to it. That can be explained away. But she does disappear, and in the next scene, we are introduced to the sheriff and his crony who loves his baton, and who was played by Dennis Underwood, if I remember correctly,
and the checkout girl at the local store.
Yeah, she's kind of a cutie, but
speak for yourself.
They're basically playing some cards, and that's when Griffin.
You forgot the scene where he invited, where he was talking to the writer and saying, "You're under arrest for not writing my story about my big fish I caught, big bass I caught, big baby bass." Was it a bass or a big baby, some kind of baby fish? And it was extremely corny and stupid and ridiculous. And then he invited him to that card game, and he declined, the reporter. And then they had the card game, and absolutely nobody there who plays cards all the time, supposedly, can shuffle a fucking deck of cards, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a moron who when someone walks in, dumps the cards on the floor, which somehow they just immaculately got picked back up.
And that's the sheriff's deputy.
And stood up half cocked and was about to pull his gun on someone walking in. So great fucking person to carry a gun. I was just talking to my friend like that about stupid people carrying guns.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Just morons, just complete, absolute fucking morons.
Well, in any case, it's Mr. Griffin who comes in and he's bewildered at what has happened because he doesn't even fucking know what happened to his wife.
Is that the word that you use? Bewildered?
I would say confused. Very confused.
That is much better. Much better. Confused at his lines, confused at how to act, confused on what he was doing, doing there.
I would stay confused about his lines because he acted like a fucking hick. Okay, so dude, that's how hicks act.
I've known real hicks that would fucking look at him and be like, "What the fuck is he on?"
Oh why?
And yet, I've seen hicks who act exactly like this. So, but
well, you are in the middle of fuck nowhere. So.
But in any case, he tells them about it, and the writer gets interested, and the writer goes along with him to wherever wherever he came from, I guess.
Don't forget they asked the sheriff, and the sheriff is too fucking lazy to be bothered.
Yeah.
Oh, why bother? It's obviously he killed his wife.
Like a gator.
So obviously he killed his wife. No, that was the first thought was that he killed the wife, and Deb's like, "Want me to round him up? Yeah, you might as well."
So
looks like we're gonna be busy next couple days.
I guess after that scene is where we get the scene with the warden and I guess the doctor and I guess a student, a girl student, and someone else that is from the town. And I guess they're talking about how large this creature is that they found, and they were like wondering whether it was the creature that that everybody was talking about, you know. And then shortly after that is when we see the young student girl at home, and she thinks she hears a sound. I think she names a name which I think is related to a pet that she has, like a dog or something like that, and we see her see something, something, and you see the face of this undead creature.
That's the part where I first laughed because
she's trying to find her German Shepherd that ran out the door when she got home.
Yeah,
I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
And then you see her fall back, a little bit of blood drip out her mouth, and her body dragged away. Well,
so
Crow, like some other people didn't, you know.
Sorry, Dave. What did you say?
I said at least she screamed like some other people didn't during this film, like later on when the guy gets attacked in the car.
I wouldn't have screamed. I would have laughed.
The old lady who gets pitchforked, she doesn't make a sound.
Right? Like, what the fuck?
I'm
like, who doesn't make a fucking sound when they get a fucking pitchfork through them? I mean, that looked so fucking fake and horrible. But still, I mean, they didn't even try to sell it. Not even try, like no fucking screaming.
But
nothing, not a sound.
I have never in another zombie movie ever seen a zombie, especially a female zombie, stab someone with a pitchfork and raise her up that high.
Right? I mean, zombies are stronger.
And that is what makes this movie unique.
You say unique. I say ridiculous.
I say unique because you don't see it anywhere else.
Yeah, you say unique. I say ridiculous. You don't see it anywhere else because it's fucking ridiculous.
I think it's cool as fuck. You know
what? Why the fuck did a zombie pick somebody up with a fucking pitchfork? That's why I said they're zombie-like, because they're not zombies. They do shit that zombies don't do. Like zombies don't have brains. They don't think. They just want to eat. That's it. Food. That's the one thing that goes through their mind. They don't like. That's it. Food. One track mind of food, and that's it. And everything is food. We
have a little bit to go before we get to that scene, anyways.
You two are a pair of squabbling squabs.
We're the squabbling squad.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting back to after that chick gets dragged off, you see the writer go down to like this lake and then like step in it, and it's one of the most ridiculous things I have ever seen.
I'm stuck.
This chick swims up with like fully clothed.
Right.
This should have been a moment where she should have been fucking nude as all hell.
Right. That might have been the best scene in the movie.
Topless in a bikini.
The best scene we never got.
Yeah.
And she was all right looking. She did have the Farrah Fawcett hair.
I don't know. Her hair kind of to me looked like it was like raggedy.
Well, you know, I mean, some of none of them had the cool '80s hairstyle, but it was 1980 that it was made and released in 1985. So I can understand the cool '80s hair look probably didn't come out quite in the first year of the '80s, but there was a few Farrah Fawcett hairstyles in there, so definitely an '80s thing.
Well, I guess you could call the writer a stick in the mud.
No, he's a shoe in the mud.
He pretty much was. He had a lot of wooden acting in him. I will not say
and that's saying much in a wooden acting movie.
Not everyone was wooden acting. I enjoyed how ridiculous the sheriff was. Even though I know, I mean, he played his part to a certain extent. I mean, he was denying everything, like small town sheriffs do, and he even made the ridiculous remark, "Oh, we solved it already," So them two get together. They start to communicate together. She tells him about it, her pappy. And I guess they
become an Indian expert.
They end up meeting her pappy in his cabinet. Here's the reason why I say there's a rewrite. Because originally, I think this movie was supposed to be about a large killer possum.
Right.
So, and this is where you get that conversation about the Indians and what they call.
He brings up Indians, and then he yells at the rest, "What do you think? I'm an Indian expert?" And dude didn't even say nothing. You did.
Yeah.
I was like, this fucking guy is stupider than his daughter. And boy, was she an idiot.
Well, what did you think of that possum that looked like bird?
First thing she's all about, "Oh, I know what you're thinking, and I'd shoot you if I had a gun." Like, what? And next thing you know, they're inviting him to supper. I'm like, what? Okay.
What'd you think about the supper that was supposed to be a possum that looked like a bird?
I had no thoughts on it. Didn't I'd want to eat, but whatever.
Well, she called it a possum. It looked like a bird, and
he didn't like the fact that he was eating possum, because then he's like, "Oh, I need to go take a walk," and then he's like, "I'll go get my pipe," and then she's like, "No, Daddy, I'll walk with him."
And I think that's when they go out in the boat, but we don't see that.
No, not yet. This is where they actually go for the walk, and then they start kissing. Well, she kisses him, and he's like, "Oh yeah." He legit says, "Oh yeah," like fucking the what do you call it? The Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah.
I hope they weren't thinking
just kissing. Like you weren't even feeling her tits or nothing. Come on.
They end up finding the wife of the dude from earlier, and that's when they go back to the sheriff. And the
this can't be the wife. You can't be the wife she won. That's what. Oh, I think you made his blood. I'm a stupid sheriff. What the fuck, man? They're so fucking backwards and stupid. God. Even Forrest call him stupid. Let's go. Stupid is and stupid does, and they are stupid.
Well, and the thing is that there are some small town sheriffs that act exactly like this out there, still to this day. So, but
I've seen a lot of movies with some stupid cops, but goddamn, never that stupid. And lazy. My God, was he lazy?
Well, have you ever seen Dukes of Hazzard? Them sheriffs, they get a run for their money.
Dude, they were fucking hilarious. Of course I watched Dukes of Hazzard, man. I'm from the 80s. We all love that fucking TV show before all that this bullshit of, oh, we can't watch Dukes of Hazzard because it's got the fucking Confederate flag on it, and that's racist.
I just wanted the car.
She just, Tammy said she just wanted the car.
Fuck yeah. The General Lee was fucking awesome. Bo and Luke were fucking, I wanted Daisy Duke too.
My great-grandfather used to watch Dukes of Hazzard with me, and he always made comments on Daisy Duke.
Fuck yeah, she was hot. I was a little kid and didn't even fucking understand hot that much, like fucking shit, and I was fucking like her.
Well, yeah, you and I were about the same age probably when we watched it.
Yeehaw! Them good old boys are in trouble.
There's a set of railroad tracks. I don't know if you can still do it, but over where we live. And my very first car was a beat up 77 Grand Le Mans. And I knew about if you went over them just right. And I'd sit there, I'd wait for all the other cars to be gone, and I'd hit it. And other people knew about this too. The cops used to actually try to watch that area. And he'd hit them tracks. I swear I made that Le Mans go airborne.
Was that what the General Lee was, or something similar?
I don't know if they've ever fixed them railroad tracks.
I actually, we had some railroad tracks here where I flew in my Toyota a few times. It was fun. I remember one time my friend was driving and we went over that. We were going like 70 down this fucking old road and shit, and with the railroad tracks in a Chevy Nova, and fucking we were flying, dude. And there's like a stop sign shortly after that, man, and he almost forgot, and he like slammed the brakes, and we went skidding. It was raining out, the whole car skidded, and we somehow stopped and didn't crash into anything, but it was just like, oh shit.
Well, you see, the cops used to watch over there because this is not a rural road. This is a busy road.
The cops should have watched over there because everybody flew through that area. Everybody did. They even had signs like not to do it, but of course. Yeah, nobody fucking listened to that.
We weren't supposed to do it because this is a busy road. David, I don't
know. This wasn't a busy road, but
there
was a lot of family. There was a lot of families. Remember. So kids, but usually when people went fast, it was
railroad tracks?
At night when kids weren't out. So,
not sure if I know where you're talking about.
Yeah, if you turn from 16th to go to 27th on Morgan, those are railroad tracks.
Okay.
Just a few little boys.
Yeah, because if you hit them just right, it goes like downhill.
Now I want to watch Dukes of Hazzard. Maybe I'll watch the movie. I enjoyed that movie.
Alrighty. So we're at the point where the body is shown up at the sheriff's, and he's like, "Wait a minute, we don't know if this is the wife's. Her hair was blonde."
The wife's hair was blonde. It's blood, sir. Oh,
I think that's blood.
What do you think I am, an expert? Not on anything, except for an expert on being lazy.
And I think at this moment, that's when the writer and the girl get it in their head to take something over to the warden.
No, not yet. This is where they go into the boat, and then they find the piece of whatever on the boat, and then
the boat gets rocked. And then
because they rock the boat, and they're like trying to knock it over, and they get out of there, and then they kind of take a glimpse of the zombie-like people, and don't know what the hell they saw, but they knew they saw something, and they're gonna take it over to the closest thing to a biologist they have there, game warden.
which I guess is the scientist at IMDb.
Who at first I thought was stupid, but compared to everybody else there, he was a fucking Einstein.
But anyways, so also in between, I guess we get this farmer and his wife, where I guess she takes a frying pan, goes out and finds his ass, spanks his ass with a frying pan. I thought she was going to
hit him over the head with it. I thought she was going to hit him over the head with it.
So did I.
That is one spot where I laughed. I'm like, what the fuck? She come out and then when he's chopping wood and he gets killed, and she walks out. At first, I didn't see the frying pan. I'm like, oh, where's the frying pan? And then I saw the frying pan. Oh, there it is. She's a fucking lady walking around with a fucking frying pan. She
like walked out in the dark, and then the next scene it was daylight, and Tammy says it was the shadows, but I swear.
Oh, dude, there's another spot. That first girl that gets killed, dude. Oh no, the girl that we forgot about the scene with the girl fucking is at the bar, and then actually that's afterwards.
She was cute.
That was afterwards.
By the way,
it was like not even dark yet, even though she said it was dark. It was like you still can see light. Excuse me, and she's walking. And then all of a sudden you see like the zombie-like creature, and it's fucking like dark, like midnight dark. I'm like, what the fuck? It was just like 6 p.m. Now all of a sudden it's like midnight. 2 seconds later.
By the way, Crow, in this movie when people were dying, were you not saying "Spunao"?
No. I was saying boring.
Well,
there's only like
the zombie that went after that chick from the bar. You could tell that he had a mask on, and you could tell that he had gloves on. But 8-year-old me did not see that.
Yeah, you were wimpy.
A different creature, you know.
Dude, that guy was a horrible fucking pool player too. I'm not a great pool player, but how the fuck did he scratch on that, dude? Like really?
By the way, that pool player
you lost, so I gotta win my money back. You better give it up, dude, because you ain't gonna win your money back with that fucking.
The pool player was the director.
Oh, he could not play pool to save his life, or at least in that shot, anyways. Because, man, like I said, I'm not a great pool player, but god damn, dude. He didn't even come close to hitting the ball. He just shot the cue ball right into the fucking corner pocket. Like, of course, he didn't even call a shot, which you don't have to, but depending on the rules you play by. But usually, when you're playing for money, they expect you to call your shots.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about pool. I had a friend that was really into it, and my uncle was on a team.
You see this girl actually in the zombies later on, but she gets carried off, I guess.
Oh wait, you forgot about when she's running away,
yeah.
And then decides instead of keep running, she's gonna hide. Brilliant. How'd that work out for you, chick? Oh, it didn't. When she jumps down and hit, I'm like, what the fuck is this chick doing? He's a zombie. He's gonna smell her. It's not another human, but yeah, it'd probably be best to hide from another human. Like a lot of times, I'm like, why don't they just hide? Instead of running, like because someone's faster than them, like a human. But when it's a zombie or a creature, creatures can smell you, still humans. So you don't want to hide from them. You want to keep running.
And it doesn't follow zombie rules at all, because these zombies go underwater,
and they swim.
Yeah,
zombies can't fuck. Zombies can go. Some zombies can go underwater, but they have to walk at the bottom of the water and then walk out. They can't swim because
these zombies can swim.
These zombies can swim. And these zombies can run when they look like they're walking.
Oh, and they can be killed by not a shot to the head.
Right. And I was like, because the dude's like, oh, we shot him, nothing happened. I'm like, shoot him in the head. Then the next scene, they shot him in the chest, and it died. I'm like, okay.
But yeah, so it's at this point they end up bringing that piece of whatever to the biologist dude or the game warden.
The game one.
And he ends up telling them, "Hey, it's it's something else, man." You know.
I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Well, he also tells them that the body of Miss Griffin was drained of blood. And
yep.
This is another thing. Zombies don't drain blood. I'm like, what's it, a fucking pot vampire? Like, what the fuck?
But he said he didn't, at first he didn't think that was unusual except for how the veins were.
It's like they don't even know like how to make the movie. Like they don't even know what the zombies do, you know? They're like, it's part zombie, part
they
vampire.
Were making it up along the way.
Totally, like, do some fucking research, dude. It was just horror bad. Just horror bad.
I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting how these are zombies that are able to suck people dry. So
zombies don't suck.
Although
these zombies suck, but in a different way.
See, you think that zombies are all like compact and in a box and supposed to only do this?
No, I've watched Resident Evil, and those zombies definitely do not do what normal zombies do. They're very fast zombies, and they have some weird fucking faces sometimes, but it looked fucking awesome, so it worked. You know, and it was awesome. You can change stuff. You can change stuff, but make it good. They changed a bunch, but didn't look good. They just made it seem like they were fucking complete morons and didn't know what they were doing. And that's my impression, that they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. We lost Philip.
He'll be back. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. But
he'll be back.
That's always this what they say, and then they get killed next or some shit like
that. They're here. I can't think of, say that without thinking of they're here, and then seeing what's her name? Fucking, oh god, it was the top of my tongue. The blonde girl. Yeah, that narrows it down. Huh?
Lillian or
Carol Ann.
I was trying to think of the actress's name actually. Heather Locklear. Yeah, when she was a little girl in Poltergeist.
I don't think it was Heather Locklear.
Yeah, it was.
No.
Yes.
Because this little girl died shortly after Poltergeist 3. And Heather Locklear was definitely is definitely still alive.
Yeah, I know. She was with fucking Tommy Lee.
Let's see. It was Heather, but it was Heather O'Rourke.
Oh, okay. I'm confused. Looks a lot like Heather Locklear when she was a little girl too.
But so we do get them going to the game warden, and he says what he says, and
we forgot an important part.
That's
the girl has a famous name of a famous wrestler, Shawn Michaels. Why a girl has the name Shawn Michaels? Well, they are Hicks, so. She wasn't bad looking, but.
Regardless, we have.
Oh, I forgot. That's right. Fucking after she divorced Tommy Lee, she married Richie Sambora. And divorced him in 2007. She liked her musicians.
Well, we have this moment where I think they think of her pappy, I believe, And that's when they run into him on the road.
Well, it wasn't even, she didn't even think of her Pappy. The other two did. And then he's like, come on. And like, didn't say why. He just like, come on. And then the next thing you know, they're saving him. It's like, well, damn, she didn't even think of her own father.
And ultimately they end up in this. Actually, before they end up in the cabin, Pappy, they're all in this like truck looking thing. I believe it's a trailer.
Of course, it's a trailer.
And
it's all hits.
Zombies. In fact, the warden gets out, and you think he's going to get bitten or something like that. But Pappy gets out on the other side. He ends up shooting a zombie in the stomach and kills him. Then you have that moment where a zombie comes in the window and smashes the window, and you get
the window is open.
You get this the first time that Sean actually screams.
Yes, the window was open though, because I was like, "Why the fuck this bitch has a fucking open ass window with these fucking creatures out there?" No, it was open, dude. Watch it again. It was open.
Open ass window.
Okay. For some reason, I
it wasn't fully open. It wasn't fully open, but it was open enough for the fucking zombie to reach through. And then he probably broke it afterwards, the rest of it. But yeah, it was definitely broken. Yeah, I didn't realize fucking Heather Locklear was in Firestar with Drew Barrymore. They must have been close to the same age.
Well, in any case, I guess the writer was able to get those zombies off of the warden, and they ended up like running from the trailer. And Pappy ended up saying, "Hey, I see the doctor over there." Oh, that reminds me. Before this, they actually went and visited a lady that actually the wreck of the houseboat.
Yeah.
With your boyfriend, and you get this whole like dreamlike sequence where
a bunch of people sitting around
he goes and investigates, and he comes back as a zombie, and then she turns and shows them her face, and it just keeps getting worse.
She just has like one piece, and then she starts laughing maniacally like a crazy person. Yeah.
That was one part that I didn't fully understand. Did that mean that she was a zombie too, or that something else happened to her?
She evidently had gotten bitten or something like that at that point in time. She was just slowly turning into, whatever.
Which is another thing that doesn't happen.
No, normally when you turn into a zombie, it happens quickly.
Yeah, you have to die, but usually, I mean, you can slowly die, but you don't start turning into a zombie while you're still alive.
Some zombie movies that have a slow transformation.
Never seen any.
I have.
And that would be fine if they do a good job with that. I'm fine with that. I don't. The zombie movies don't have to follow all these rules. Like vampires don't either. I mean, they don't. But if you're going to make it look good, make it interesting. Don't just put it together like you don't have a fucking clue, because that's how this movie was done. It looks like like they don't fucking have a clue what's going on, and that's why I complain about it.
You're just used to zombies following a norm. Where is
again?
No,
I've seen the Resident Evil zombies. I've seen zombies from Z Nation. Walking Dead, The Living Dead, the fucking, of course, Cesar Romero movies. There's a lot of different things in zombies. I mean, Shaun of the Dead.
There's only one good zombie movie, the original Night of the Living Dead.
That is incorrect.
That is the only good zombie movie.
No, Shaun of the Dead is fucking awesome.
Why do you dislike zombie movies otherwise, Tammy?
I don't know. I just don't get into them.
Oh,
Why don't you like them?
I don't know. They just don't do anything for me.
I'm not a huge. I was never a huge zombie fan. I'd much rather watch vampires. But yeah, there's some good ones.
I'd much rather watch vampires too.
Yeah, but there's some good ones.
well, my favorite would probably be demons, but I can also watch both vampires and zombies.
Well, I would like demons more if they had some badass demon movies. Most of the demon movies seem to be like B movies type. And that's just a shame. I would like to see a really kick-ass A-list demon movie. I mean, well, I guess you can kind of the Constantine, but then I like Keanu Reeves, but that was not his role, and I'm sad to see that they're doing a sequel to it because nobody wants it. The DC movie that nobody asked for or wants. Like I said, I'm a fan of him, but just not that his Constantine was just bad, and I mean, I didn't even realize how bad it was until I saw the TV show. And I was like, wow, this dude is fucking. Is it Matt Reeves? I think. I don't know. Who plays the TV show version? He's kick ass. He is definitely Constantine, 100%. If they were gonna do a movie, they should have had him do the fucking movie. Like, totally, they do not need to fucking do Keanu Reeves again. But we have this fucking stupid moron that's in charge of HBO Max and Disney Plus and WB now, and he's a fucking idiot that just cancels fucking good shit and puts on shit we don't want. So, sorry, just had to rant about that for a second because I'm so pissed off.
So Happy thinks he sees the doctor, and of course, it is the doctor, but he's
a zombie,
a little under the weather, and he's no longer the doctor.
He's not feeling himself.
Anyways, Happy slowly.
They should give him a Snickers bar.
Nice one.
Not feeling yourself? Snickers bar.
Well, Pappy is no longer after that. So,
Pappy!
the other three end up going to the cabin and blocking themselves inside. And even though they're perfectly safe inside, the warden goes out into the fray and here's something zombies don't normally do. They don't take a person and hang them up on a tree or hang them up in any.
Yeah, why would they hang their food up?
Out of reach too,
Right. And how did they hang up their food? Like, how did they do it? Like, they're fucking zombies. One, why? But how? Like how? Did they just toss the body up there and it happened to hook on something? I mean, like it just makes. I mean, besides the fact that zombies would not do this, it like how it makes absolutely zero sense. Not that there was a lot in this movie that made sense, but that scene right there, I have to give it an award for the stupidest scene in the entire film, and that's saying something. Because this film is fucking stupid, but that was that. I mean, at least the other scenes kind of made some sense in a weird way that okay, they don't understand how zombies work, but okay, fine. But this is just plain stupidity. Like it is just completely and totally asinine. I mean, like I said, didn't they have a Razzie award or something for like horrible things or whatever? Like
I thought it was cool.
Dude, seriously, that's gonna be cool. Why would zombies fucking hang a person up? And how did they hang that person up? Tell me that. How did they do this?
I don't know why. I just thought it was cool. Something that zombies normally don't do, you know?
Because zombies can't do it, and zombies wouldn't do it.
How do you know? Have you
because
ever
they
met
eat
zombies?
people. That's what they do. They eat people. They don't think.
How do you hang meat up at a butcher store?
They have a hook that they use a machine. The hook comes down. They put the meat onto the hook, and then they put a little lever, and it pulls them back up. They weren't in a machine shop. They were out in the middle of the fucking woods, and they're zombies.
Alien zombies. Get that right.
They're not aliens. The fucking
they're not zombies.
The fire thing that came to the sky that was not a fucking asteroid, or at least anything that looked like a one.
It says that it was a meteor that struck.
I know what the fuck IMD said it was. It didn't look like a fucking meteor, okay? But whatever the fuck it was, it doesn't matter if it was an alien. The people were still not alien. The people were people. They got turned into zombies. You can't get turned into an alien. You can turn into a zombie, but you can't get turned into an alien. So they were not alien zombies. Like the title Alien Dead makes absolutely zero sense. I mean, when I first heard about when you first said this movie, I'm like, so it's like alien zombies? And then I'm watching, I'm like, no, it's not. So why the fuck is there alien even in the fucking title? It makes zero sense. But again, these people have no fucking clue.
It turned these guys into the undead.
Yes, but they weren't aliens. You can't turn an alien, put something into an alien. If you're either born,
you can't tell me these are zombies.
They were zombie-like. They were zombie-like, but they were not aliens.
Well, they weren't zombies.
They were zombie-like.
You said zombie-like. That's not exactly zombies.
Exactly. Because they didn't do anything zombies do. I still
have you ever had a zombie in your backyard?
No, because zombies aren't real.
Was that a reference to the game Plants vs. Zombies?
Now, originally, zombies were something that voodoo priests would raise the dead and control them. So they did what
they were a hell of a lot more
they could do stuff because the voodoo practitioner was controlling them to do stuff. They even had that type of zombie in Buffy. There was a zombie master when this woman put the mask on, became a zombie master. So that's a different type of zombie as well. And that one could probably hang a person up because it was told to, so it would do it like a robot, you know. It was just being controlled, or a golem. Yeah, they were more like golems.
I guess this is the first film that makes zombies a little bit more human, a little bit, because they're doing stuff that humans
can't teleport in super speed either.
Wait. I remember a long time ago I watched a movie where zombies were a little more human, at least some of them. I'm trying to find the title now. Damn.
I mean, I saw that one where the zombie fell in love. I can't remember the name of the movie. Which it was kind of interesting. And obviously
the one with
unrealistic.
What's her name from The Matrix?
It was unrealistic, but it was an enjoyable film. I liked it. Okay.
Fido?
Huh?
Fido?
No.
The movie I was talking about, I just found it. It's called When Ghouls Go Bad, a TV movie from 2001.
That's a ghoul. Ghouls are different.
Well, I think. Okay, I'm not sure. It's been really long since I saw it, but I do think maybe this is the title, but I do think it was something about the undead in the movie.
Warm Bodies. That was the name of the movie I was thinking of.
I was thinking of Fido.
I've never seen it.
Fido was fun.
Yeah, Warm Bodies is the one that I was
think it's
thinking
even
of.
better than Shaun of the Dead.
Fuck, bite your tongue.
Shaun of the Dead was just
fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't like it.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You can't even tell me like Zombieland is or
It was stupid.
Zombieland is Zombieland 2. Shaun of the Dead was fucking
Zombieland,
hilarious.
yes. Zombieland 2 wasn't needed.
Zombieland 2 is awesome. Not as good as the first one, but Shaun of the Dead is the best zombie movie ever.
But anyways, we get him strung up on what looks like a post of some sort, and after that you have the writer and Shawn Michaels running through the woods. But before we get that, I did forget about that chick in the white t-shirt where you could actually see her fucking nipples.
Yeah.
Of
course, that was after the girl that we just saw her big cup tits. That the sheriff was. When
we finally got the nude scene that should have been like.
Well, it wasn't nude. It was just her boobs.
She's down naked. It's just
she was naked, but you couldn't see anything but her boobs. And that cop was fucking staring at her like a pervert.
Yeah. But anyways, you get the
Unit 2, tell me you're 1020, 1040. Unit 2, where the hell are you? Tell me you're 1040, 1020.
You get the sheriff calling him on the
That was the only work the sheriff did the whole movie.
I know exactly what you were doing.
I know what you're thinking. That Shawn Michaels thought she was a fucking fortune teller. I know what you're thinking.
Well, anyways, you get the wet t-shirt girl swimming underwater, and she swims by some rednecks who are telling her about the gator that they're
we forgot about the brothers that fucking died. Actually, there was that one scene that I almost jumped a little bit. When the brother was sitting on the back of the boat, and that fucking zombie they jumped up from the water again. Things zombies don't do, but jumped up out of the water and grabbed him and just disappeared super quick. That was actually kind of a cool scene. I'd have to admit that was a cool looking scene. Totally unrealistic for zombie thing, but it was a cool looking scene. So I would just give that. Like if the rest of the film was like that, I probably would have actually enjoyed the film because that was a cool scene. So just had to mention that because that was actually a good scene.
It was a good scene. I do have to admit that. But later on, we get the wet t-shirt girl. She gets.
Don't worry about me. Just worry about shooting yourselves.
Right. That was a good line, though. That was a good line.
Yeah. And 2 seconds later, she's fucking dead. Dumbass. Stupid balls.
And then there's another chick that seems to be running through the forest, and she takes a comb and sticks the zombie in the head with it. And I've never seen a zombie die from a comb like that.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
that was like almost that was kind of funny. The zombie,
that was like a pick.
The zombie was holding his eye like a fucking human. Like, because he got stabbed in the eye. I'm like, he's holding his eye like he knows he got stabbed. He's a zombie. But it was still kind of funny that she killed a fucking zombie with a fucking brush with a comb.
Yeah. How they even come up with
like
that idea?
One of those lice combs, use when you have lice. You have to use the middle things.
It's completely random.
It's totally random. Totally doesn't fucking fit. But it does fit in the fact that the whole movie is totally random and stupid. So yeah, but it was kind of funny. that a zombie died that way. I could see that being like really funny in like a spoof movie, spoof zombie movie. But yeah.
And of course, the writer and his chick end up finding a boat.
Yeah, they're gonna run to the car, which I don't know what car they were talking about because they were in a truck, and somehow ran to a boat. I'm like, that's probably a bad idea.
Well, and did you see that she missed grabbing it the first time? I was like, oh, they must have done this in one take, and she fucked up, and just they decided to just keep rolling tape, but they got in the boat, and that's when he's got like that spear gun. And he spears the one zombie, and
he doesn't even shoot. You see him holding it, then you see the zombie fucking in the arrow in the chest and dying. Like, there was no shot. He didn't shoot it at all. Like, what the fuck? It was so horribly done. Again.
I saw it shot, but anyways.
You couldn't see it shot. He didn't shoot it.
He pressed the trigger.
No, he didn't.
But
the same thing, dude.
Regardless, the actor playing the guy that got the arrow acted like, oh wait, I guess I have to fall backwards, like I'm dead.
It was a girl.
It looked like a guy.
Okay.
And then
usually just fat guys have tits, but okay.
Another zombie popped out, and he hit him with the paddle like it was whack-a-mole.
That happened. And then they fell asleep in the boat.
Yep.
And then the idiot sheriff showed up.
Yep, and they say April Fool's Day or some shit like that. That while they're in the boat.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, I think that's what they said.
I couldn't even make out what they said, and then we see the zombie, and then we see the credits, and yeah,
you get the country music at the end, like that.
Worst fucking music ever. Worst sound effects ever. Ugh.
I like the sound effects.
This fucking movie. This movie was just so fucking awful.
Like when the one zombie that you could tell had a mask and like gloves.
The one zombie? Are you blind?
Yeah, because it was one zombie that looked like it had a mask on.
No, there was more than one zombie that looked like it had a mask on. There was one zombie that definitely could tell he had a mask on, but then then most of the zombies looked like they had masks, but there was one that looked really worse than the rest. The first one you see. The first one you see at night when it was actually when it was evening time. But all of a sudden it was like midnight. 2 seconds after it was like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that was face makeup on that one. But
no, that was a mask.
You
see the mask at the bottom of his neck. You see
the bar chick. Well, you heard oinking sounds while he was eating her. Like zombies don't make.
Usually when I eat a girl, I hear orgasm sounds, but
but I'm not saying this movie is a great movie. It is a bad movie.
You can say all you want about it.
But there are things that zombies do in here that you don't see in other films.
Because zombies don't do them.
They do in this film.
Because they're idiots.
Because it's cool.
I think you need to look up the definition of cool.
Okay. What?
You don't know what that word means.
That a zombie has so much strength that they can pick them up with a pitchfork. What person doesn't think that a zombie could actually pick a person up and hang them on a fucking tree? I mean,
they can't reach the fucking tree. The tree is hanging way above their heads.
They could if they gathered their strength together and put him there.
Yeah, they could toss them. They could have tossed the body up in the air and got lucky with it fucking landing on the tree. Yes, they could have done that. That's the only thing that explains how they got the zombie up there. Doesn't explain why they would put the zombie up there, because they're zombies. They eat their fucking food. They don't play with their food. They're not that little kid where you say, "Stop playing with your food." No,
maybe they're trying
to
to maybe they're trying to try out for Thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying to.
I would give this movie a -10 for production.
Sorry, you would give it what?
-10 for production.
-10.
and sound effects. I mean,
sound effects were okay.
I would give this movie a -5 stars. 5 stars. -5 stars.
I don't think it deserves that much.
It does. There's absolutely no redeeming qualities in this fucking movie, with the exception of that one scene. But that one scene is not enough to give it even a star. Okay, maybe 4.5, -4.5 stars. We'll give it a half a star of that one good scene.
I think
that's being generous.
That these zombies go underwater. That these zombies have such immaculate strength that they can.
Zombies do have strength. Have you been watched fucking iZombie? Zombies are strong. That's fine. I have no problem with zombies being super strong. But again, I've never seen a zombie pick up a weapon. Zombies are the weapon. They don't need weapons. They don't pick up pitchforks because they don't need pitchforks. They are the weapon. And they don't think. Only a thinking person would pick up a weapon. You don't see animals picking up weapons. Zombies are like animals, but even stupider. Maybe dogs.
Zombie thought.
Zombies don't think. When they die, their brain dies, and the body is left craving food.
Well, when they gain their brain power back. in this day and age.
This day and age, people don't have brains in the first place.
But in any case, let's talk about production. I know you just did, but
yeah, because I figured that's where you were going with next. So I just figured I'd get a head start.
What did you think about the production, Boris?
Well, it's I assume a B movie and a fairly old one, I guess. I guess as far as production goes, they probably did the best they could with what they had. So when it comes to B movies, I'm not really picky about production. But yeah, it was maybe obvious that they were wearing masks and things like that. But then again, like I said, it's a B movie, so it's we should ask ourselves if we were making that movie, if we would be able to make a zombie look better than they did. So yeah, I guess.
I want to put your money where your mouth is. So one of these days, I'll produce a zombie movie and you direct it. Okay.
Nope. I don't want to direct a zombie movie. I don't want to direct it all.
You said you could make one.
I could, but doesn't mean I'm going to. Just because I can, that doesn't mean I should. like Jeff Goldblum said, just because someone can, that doesn't mean they should.
Hypocrite.
I just don't make fucking direct. I just don't direct movies. But, and no time have I ever said I could probably do better than the director, except for in this fucking case. Like this is just fucking horror bad. This is just fucking absolutely asinine. Like I've seen kind of a clip that Mo did, and Mo did 100 times better in that tiny little clip in this entire fucking movie. And Mo didn't have any fucking money to put into it. So yeah.
What about you, Tammy? What did you think about the production?
Wimpy.
You thought the production was wimpy?
I'm sorry. I think to me it seemed more like a college project.
Right? A dropout, college dropout project.
Than an actual,
Or they failed.
I mean, you can tell. I mean, you could tell they tried, but they weren't very good. I mean, we brought up the points of where the lady comes out of the house and it's dark, but then when she gets over by the zombies, it's light out.
Yeah.
The girl leaves the bar and it's somewhat light out, and then all of a sudden it's dark.
Yep.
And things like that, or when the lady got stabbed with the pitchfork, you don't fucking scream, you don't do nothing, you just stand there. Really? Think about it. If somebody's coming after you with a fucking pitchfork and they stab you with it, you're just gonna stand there and take it and not scream or move or anything?
Even when the farmer died, he didn't scream. He just opened his mouth.
But I'm just saying, the things that people would normally do, and they do in other movies, they didn't. There was no expression where it should have. There was no reaction where there should have been. It's... I don't know.
It's a totally bad movie, like all the way around. But there are things that are in this movie that I still defend to this day that I think are cool that these zombies do, and I have never seen it in another zombie film. And I would like to see it in another zombie film because I think it would be a cool thing. But I do think that that other people could probably do it better. But I will always see the image of the lady on the pitchfork and the amount of strength it had to have taken that woman to put her up there, and that's one thing that's stuck in my mind, even when I was 8 years old. Yeah, okay, all this, all of these people in this film, they sucked royally. Even Buster Crabbe, but I can excuse him because they probably grabbed him on his last leg, and because he was on his last leg, he was
actually better than some of the others. He wasn't good, but he was better than the others, with the exception of the game one, who was the only one that probably did act correctly.
But
now, which one is the worst? That would be hard to try to figure out which one is the worst. I think it's very hard, very very hard to see which one is the worst. The writer is definitely a competition for one of the worst. But Shawn Michaels was pretty bad too.
Because she didn't even swim topless or anything. She
swam with all her clothes on. Like, who the fuck does that? Even the other woman took her top off and she had a shirt on under it, and we saw her nipples. Yeah. But at least she didn't come. She had something something
like a sex appeal.
A little. She took off a little bit of the clothes. I mean, I get it. Okay, the girl didn't want to do a nude scene in a stupid B movie. That was more like a Z movie. Not the Z is really a letter for movies, but I made that up. But it fits there, and it's not Z for zombie. It's Z for because put me to sleep.
Zero budget.
Zero budget. There you go. Yeah. I mean, you could tell they had a budget, but they did not make good use of their budget. I mean, I saw that movie with the fucking they're sitting around playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they made up those monsters and shit, and they had like what a budget of $100 or something, and that was a better movie. That was better well done than this. You know what movie I'm talking about? We
I know what
on the other show. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that was more enjoyable than this, and that was obviously people in suits doing the monsters and shit, but just the way they did it, it was just interesting. It was funny. It was fun.
So would you say this is one of the worst movies you've ever seen?
Yeah.
What about you, Tammy? Is this one of the worst movies you've ever seen?
Well, living with you, I doubt it.
Not totally, but I mean.
Yeah, you probably seducted to her a lot of fucking horror movies.
And you're not saying that just because 8-year-old me like was really fascinated with this movie at one point in time.
8-year-old you was an idiot.
Oh, ouch!
What do you think he is now?
A complete moron for liking it now. But at least he had an excuse. He was only 8 then. Now he has no fucking excuse.
I have
bloody hell.
Zombies do shit in here that I've never seen in any other movie.
There's a reason you never seen it in any other movie, dude.
I am standing by that. I think it's cool.
I have no problem with them doing things differently. I have a problem with how they try to do things differently. They didn't do things differently. It didn't seem like they were doing things differently to be different. They were doing things differently because they had no fucking clue what they were doing. And there's a difference. You know? When you do things out of stupidity, it comes out.
I get it. And I agree with you in that respect. But I still think it's cool. And I still think it stands out from other zombie movies.
It does stand out from other zombie movies. I agree with you. Because it's fucking horror bad.
But let's go to our well, I know you somewhat talked about the music, but Boris, did you have anything?
We don't need to talk about the music.
About well, actually, I have to say there was this one song that I found kind of interesting. That I can't remember exactly how it goes, but I know it has a slow melody, like some ballad, but the lyrics are about zombies attacking. That was, I must admit, kind of interesting. I think I will look it up later and maybe add it to my Halloween playlist.
Well, these are the songs that were played in the soundtrack. Bluegrass on My Mind, which were performed by the American Bluegrass Express. Dixie Showdown, which was played by the American Bluegrass Express, and How I Miss My Home by the American Bluegrass Express. So it was all bluegrass music.
Talking about bands with no talent.
But let's go into favorite scenes and favorite characters. How about you, Kroll? Was there a favorite scene or favorite characters?
That one scene where the fucking zombie jumps up, even though zombie shouldn't jump up, and grab the dude. That was a good scene. That was the only good scene in the entire movie. Even the tits, they were okay, but they were just a beat up, and they weren't that great. So I mean, it's always nice to see tits, but they could put better tits. Girl with better tits. Yeah,
you could see ribcage on that chick.
Yeah, they're just which I normally don't mind. It's just, I don't know. It's just they were definitely not that great. But at any rate, yeah, that scene, and I do not have a favorite character. There was no character that I liked.
Okay, what about you, Tammy?
A favorite scene, a favorite character?
Yep.
I guess my favorite character is the game warden because he's the only one that seemed to have his head screwed on right and knew how to act.
I mean, the reporter was actually smart, to a degree, but the actor was so fucking wooden that I couldn't care for the character.
I don't know if I really have a favorite scene. I guess my favorite scene would actually be the pitchfork one, except for it was missing lots. It was missing reaction.
I couldn't fucking say that was my favorite scene. It was so fucking just horrible. I mean, even if forgetting the fact that zombies shouldn't use weapons, okay? Say she used a weapon. It was just the woman didn't scream or yell or any reaction whatsoever. Like, I even realized it was I'm like, what's that sticking out of her back? And I realized, oh, it's a pitchfork. Okay.
I mean,
and that
the
was
reason
my
I say
impression.
that's my favorite is I have to agree with David a little bit. That is something you've never seen before, but it was still lacking a lot.
Because
there was
no
reaction.
I agree. I agree that it was lacking a lot, but I've still never seen it since.
I'm sorry, it was horrible.
I thought it was fucking great. In fact, going over to you, Boris, what if you had a favorite scene or favorite character? What would it be?
Well, favorite scene is kind of difficult to choose because, like I said, I kind of had difficulties following the storyline because of the messed up subtitles I had. But I think I would also go with the pitchfork scene because it somewhat reminded me of a scene in my writing. In my novel, I also have a scene where someone gets stabbed with a pitchfork, but it's a much different thing, nothing to do with zombies and stuff. But yeah, I can't say more without spoiling it.
I could see somebody killing a zombie with a pitchfork. That would make sense.
Yeah, in my story there were no zombies involved.
Zombies having specific rules as what to the.
Oh my fucking god! Again, no, I don't. There are rules, and the rules can be broken or bent or whatever, as long as it's smart. They were stupid. They just didn't have a clue what they were doing. It was plainly obvious, plainly and painfully obvious that they were just fucking clueless. They weren't.
That may be true.
They were not trying to make something. They were not trying to make something cool. They just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So,
I will say that scene with the pitchfork did show up in many horror magazines at the time.
Ooh, interesting.
Why? It was so fucking horrible.
Nobody had ever seen anything.
But it was done horribly. Like the scene where the fucking the zombie jumps out of the water. That was never done. Has never been done before. But that was actually cool.
I'm just saying that this movie was well written about back in the day. So. But I do think that horror magazines during the 80s, any movie that was out, they would write them up and like put them on a pedestal, just to make people watch them, So, say anything to just get people to watch these movies. As long as they said something good about the film, hey, that's all filmmakers wanted. But the whole reason why I found out what the title of this was because I had known the director of Camp Blood, and I asked him if he could. I gave him the scenarios of what I remembered. I remembered the people in the boat. I remembered the raised pitchfork by the zombie female. And I remembered body parts getting eaten. Okay. And he looked back in his magazines and he said, could have been.
Hello?
Hello, what's happening? I thought my internet connection was glitching again.
Yeah, I was like, he just suddenly stopped talking. That's unlike David.
Yeah, and Dave's screen is frozen too, and we cannot hear Tammy either.
No, we can't tell if her screen is frozen because she doesn't use her camera.
Hello.
Hello. Say hello to my little friend.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they must have lost internet.
Yeah, maybe it's
So
them.
that's Dukes of Hazzard, man. I gotta watch that movie again. That was good. I actually like that movie. But you know, in Smallville, John Schneider played Clark's father, adopted father in it, Jonathan Kent. And
yes.
And there was an episode where Tom Wopat, who played his cousin Bo in Dukes of Hazzard, he showed up on the show, and they were good friends. And they actually he drove up in a car that looked like the General Lee, and the door was broken, and John Snyder had to climb into the window. So they put a little nod to Dukes of Hazzard in Smallville. I fucking loved that.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I watched that show, so I'm not sure I remember exactly, but yeah, I was watching it, but really long ago. Let's. Oh, Dave has just responded to me on Facebook. He says they lost internet. Hold on. So, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait for him. If anyone is watching this discussion, I'm sorry about this. We run into technical issues sometimes. Oh.
Sorry about that. Lost internet.
Welcome back.
You can come back in.
Shit happens. We were talking about Dukes of Hazzard while you were gone. A good movie. And then I was talking about Smallville, how they had, John Snyder was, the father, and they had Tom Wopat as a special guest on one of the episodes, and they gave a nod to Dukes of Hazzard because he had to get into the window because the door was broken, and the car that he had, which I think he had the same kind of car. It was just black, didn't look like the General Lee. Obviously, they didn't want to go exactly like the show, but they did enough that anyone who watched Dukes of Hazzard knew what they were doing.
Welcome back, Tammy, but your mic is muted.
I know that. You don't have to tell me my mic is muted all the time. It's habit for the other one that we're on.
Hey, I don't put music on that one either. That often. I mean, I do sometimes. But...
So it's habit that I keep it muted.
I'm pretty good about not making sounds, and when I know I'm going to, I mute it. So.
You are also good at making sounds.
Yep.
Well, that's on purpose.
I know.
Especially when you're annoyed.
Right.
Or if I was a fish, that's on purpose.
But in any case, hopefully you out there, ladies and gentlemen, have enjoyed our discussion on this film. I hopefully I gave it justice. I know not all of you enjoyed it, and I'm sorry about that. But there are aspects of the film that I enjoy, and I guess I will continue to enjoy them till I'm dead. So, or undead for that matter. Who knows? I might be voodooed back to life. You never know.
I must admit I know how that feels. I also have some movies that I like a lot that most people have not even watched, and even those who have think the movies are horrible, but I still found something I liked about them. And,
Oh yeah, I find this movie boring at times because it is slow, but it's because of the shit that I never saw in any other zombie shit is why I love it. So that's.
And you know what? It's really bad that it's considered that it is slow, since it's only barely over an hour long.
Right? But that's what's so entertaining about it.
Thank you.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. These are our opinions expressed about this film. Just go out and see it for yourself. Let us know down
or don't.
Whether you thought it was as horrible or as likable as I thought it was. Just enjoy it for what it is. And if you can't enjoy it, too bad. But next week, I believe, is Tammy's turn. I believe. What do you have in store for us?
Well, my week should have been this week, and that's why I would originally have picked the movie that I'm picking, because my mom's birthday would have been Thursday, and so had originally had a movie I had a movie in mind, but then the weeks changed. But I'm still want the movie I want as in memory of my mom.
I didn't know I ruined it for you by postponing it for.
No, you didn't ruin anything.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what happened?
You're fine. You're fine.
We're not doing it next week?
We're going to watch Kid Galahad.
We're doing it next week. What movie?
My favorite actor is Charles Bronson, and she also loved Elvis, and they're both in Kid Galahad.
What's the name of the movie?
Sir Galahad?
Kid Galahad.
Or Kid Galahad.
Kid Galahad?
Yeah, it's
correct.
Let's see.
It's an Elvis movie.
But my mom loved Elvis, and her favorite actor was Charles Bronson, and they're actually both in that movie.
My mother loved Elvis. I don't think she liked Charles Bronson. I think my grandparents did. I hated Charles Bronson.
Earlier movies and like in this movie, he's not bad, but when he got older, to me, he looked like a monkey.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen this, but I probably have. I saw most of the Elvis movies. It's not one that I recognize. But yeah, I like a few of the Elvis movies. No idea if I like I said, I'm not sure if I've seen it. I certainly don't remember it.
This one's somewhat cool. He's, like I said, Bronson is his.
I liked Blue Hawaii.
But anyways, that's the movie I picked. So it's called Kid Galahad.
Alrighty.
I'm sure it'll be more interesting than this one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week, and hopefully y'all will enjoy the rest of your day. And like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week then. Everyone say good night.
Good night.
Good day. I say good day.